Hello, little explorers. You know, it's important to listen to your parents and follow the rules. In this story, Peter Rabbit doesn't listen to his mother, which gets him into big trouble. The story teaches kids that if you don't listen, you might face danger or problems. It's also about being careful and thinking before you act. The story starts now. Once upon a time, there were four rabbits. Their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mommy in a cozy hole under a big tree. One morning, their mommy said, "My dears, you can go play in the fields or down the path, but don't go into Mix McDonald's garden. Your daddy had an accident there, and Mrs. McDonald put him in a pie." Then she said, "Now run along and be good. I'm going out." Mommy Rabbit took her basket and umbrella and went to the bakery. She bought a loaf of bread and 5 buns. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail were good bunnies, so they went to pick blackberries. But Peter, who was naughty, ran straight to Mr. McDonald's garden. He squeezed under the gate. First, Peter ate some lettuce, then some green beans, and then some radishes. After eating so much, he felt sick. So he went to look for some parsley. But then around the corner, who did he see? Mr. McDonald. Mr. McDonald was planting cabbages. When he saw Peter, he jumped up and shouted, "Stop, thief!" and ran after him. Peter got very scared and ran all over the garden because he forgot how to get back to the gate. He lost one shoe in the cabbage patch and other in the potato field. After losing his shoes, Peter ran on all four legs and went faster. But then he got caught in a net because of the buttons on his jacket. His jacket was very new with shiny buttons. Peter thought he was stuck forever and began to cry. But some friendly birds heard him and told him to try harder. Just then, Mr. McDonald came with a big basket to catch Peter. But Peter wriggled out of his jacket and ran away. He ran into the tool shed and jumped into a watering can to hide. But he had water in it and Peter got wet. Mr. McDonald looked everywhere for Peter. He turned over flower plots one by one. Suddenly Peter sneezed. "Achie!" Mr. McDonald heard him and chased him again. Peter jumped out of a window and knocked over some plants. Mr. McDonald was too big to follow him through the window, so he gave up. Peter was tired and scared. He didn't know where to go. He sat down to rest. He was wet and shivering. After a while, Peter began to wander around slowly, trying to find a way out. He found a door in a wall, but it was locked and he couldn't fit under it. A little mouse was carrying peas and beans. Peter asked for how to get to the gate, but she couldn't answer because her mouth was full with peas and beans. Peter cried again. Then Peter tried to cross the garden, but he only got more lost. He came to a pond where Mr. McDonald filled his water cans. A white cat was sitting by the pond watching the fish. Peter quietly sneaked away because he knew cats were dangerous. Peter went back toward the tool shed. He heard Mr. McDonald digging nearby, but he didn't see Peter. Peter climbed onto a wheelbarrow and peeked over. He saw Mr. McDonald working with his back to him, and just behind him was the gate. Peter got down quietly and started running as fast as he could. Mr. McDonald saw him, but Peter didn't stop. He squeezed under the gate and ran to the safety of the woods. Mr. McDonald took Peter's little jacket and shoes and hung up as a scarecrow to keep the birds away. Peter ran and ran until he got home to the big tree. He was so tired that he flopped down on the soft sand and closed his eyes. Peter's mommy was busy cooking. She wondered what happened to Peter's clothes. It was the second time he had lost his jacket and shoes in 2 weeks. That evening, Peter didn't feel very well. His mommy put him to bed and made him some tea to help him feel better. She said, "One spoonful before bed." But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread, milk, and blackberries for supper. I hope you loved today's stories. Little explorers, stay curious, and we will see you in our next adventure. Bye for now. Love you.